single team. So I will share my screen and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so at Orange Coast College, we are a 2-year community college. That being said, we have a lot of different courses, a lot of degree programs and certificates specifically related to marine environmental sciences. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get a lot of degrees, programs, as well as course offerings, but at the same time, it's a really good value. And a lot of our students then transfer on to other programs, and it's really nice in terms from an economic perspective of not having that much student loans. So here's a couple photos that we have that we've taken with some of our students. And the first thing I want to do is talk a little bit about the campus in general. Number one, it's a great location for studying marine and environmental science. If you look at it from a map, I just pulled up a Google Earth map, and here's Orange Coast College right here. And here is our waterfront campus, where our professional mariner program is located, as well as a number of the courses that we teach in the marine science department. So you have amazing access to the beach. The proximity to the coast and offshore islands is really right on your doorstep. It's only 5 miles away, which means that we can offer a lot of courses directly at the beach, on the coast, even on boats in a number of different courses. And being in Southern California, it's quite an amazing climate for fieldwork. That affords us the opportunity to hold many of our classes outside. OCC also has amazing resources and just opportunities for getting a lot of hands-on experience and making connections. So for example, we have a student research symposium every single year. And in the marine science department, we have a number of different students that have completed those projects, often using our public aquarium in order to set up projects. We have a lot of honor societies and clubs, even the only marine science honor society that I've heard of in the geographic area. So we have a specialized marine science honor society where students come together on a week-to-week basis, discuss opportunities. We do lab tours. We do all types of events, research and monitoring programs so that they can really help to build up their resumes and contacts before they transfer. We actually have on-campus student housing, what's called the Harbor, and that's just opened in the last couple of years. So a number of students actually transfer from out of the county, out of state. We've even had some from out of country, some international students that come and do marine science here at OCC. And as a fairly large college, we have world-class athletic programs and facilities, which really make it gives you that college experience without that college bill that comes in. It's really, really an incredible value for any students in general, but particularly those with financial concerns. And often in marine sciences, you know that you're going to end up with a lot of loans, and you might be not waiting on that $1 million right out of the year college year job. So this is a really important thing that many students factor in when choosing where to spend their first couple of years. So as a California community college, our tuition cost is $46 a unit, which is pretty amazing. And we have what's called the Pirates Promise. The Pirates is the OCC Pirates, and that offers basically paid tuition and help with finances for students that come right out of high school and OCC as their first college experience for up to 2 years. Now, there are various eligibility things with that, so I encourage you to go to our website, but that Pirates Promise really offers a great opportunity for students coming directly out of high school. We also have the OCC Cares program, which helps with all types of other things for students that are facing challenges, whether they be financial or a lot of other things, to where they might need books or computers or food or housing or a lot of other things. So we're really making sure that that is a priority to realize that these are student needs that we need to address. There's even what we call the Pirates Cove, which is a grocery store, a free grocery store basically on campus. Now, grocery store, but we have opportunities for students to come and be able to get free food during the days, as well as to be able to take things home to make sure that they have food at night also. So a lot of great opportunities just looking at campus information in general. I kind of want to start off before getting into the individual departments, just in showing you a little bit about what I've just discussed. It's always good to hear about it, but here's a little campus video that gives you a tour of what it's like at OCC. So that's a little bit about the campus in general. Now we want to focus in on what many of you guys are really particularly interested, that being Marine and Aquarium Sciences, our Professional Mariners program, as well as the Environmental Science and Ecology departments. So we're going to go through each of these one at a time, but at the same time, we're going to bounce around a lot because, as I previously mentioned, we do a lot of collaborations. And really, even though we're separate departments, we very much act as a single team. So we're going to start off a little bit with the Marine Science Department. And some of the things that'll be particularly of interest to you is that we do have an Associates of Science degree, a local degree in Marine Science, another in Applied Ocean Science and Technology, as well as particular certificates of achievement, both in Aquarium Science. We're going to be shortly starting one in Marine Research and Monitoring and Marine Mammal Field Studies. A lot of collaborations going on there. We do have the OCC Public Aquarium, which is a very unique resource and facility that Mary is going to talk a little bit more about in greater depth, because it affords a lot of opportunities that students don't get at a lot of other schools they might attend. And we really do a lot of collaborations. Then Karen Prelo will discuss the OCC Professional Mariners program, looking at a number of different things that I'll let her describe. And Mary will follow up a little bit more with our certificates and looking at the Environmental Science and Ecology department. So, first, the Marine Science Department. As I mentioned, we have a couple of degrees and certificates, the Marine Science and Applied Ocean Science and Technology, and this one is a collaborative degree with the Professional Mariners program, as well as these 3 certificates of achievement. Now, some of the notable things about the Marine Science Department is just the sheer number of field courses and hands-on experience that we afford to students. A lot of our students, they come in, they know they can take classes anywhere, sit in lectures. But what's really unique is the amount of field opportunities that we provide to students. Some of the courses you might, out of a 16-week semester, 16 meetings, you might meet 8 times directly at the beach or on a boat or at a coastal facility. A lot of our courses in aquarium science, you are running the aquarium. We have a student-run aquarium. As I previously mentioned, we have HHO at Omicron, which is our Marine Science Honor Society. That is, their sole purpose is really to get like-minded students who are interested in marine, aquarium, environmental science, professional mariners, and give them an opportunity to make contacts and get a lot of hands-on experience to build up their resumes. We keep in contact with a lot of our alumni, our Ocean Alumni Network. And what that does is we try and have existing students talking to past students. They can really show them, what their experience was, what things they learned after transferring, and what kinds of jobs that they were able to get afterwards. That's a really helpful tool. We have study abroad opportunities. In fact, one of our colleagues is down in Baja right now with a whale opportunity for some of our students. We have opportunities for work, internships, and volunteering. For example, we hire students to work in our aquarium. There's a lot of opportunities for work study, for internships. We just started with our intern academy program, where we have a couple of students now doing internships with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. We really make it a point to try and interact with the students, not just in class, but we try and set up opportunities for students to come meet with us, and they can actually set appointments directly from our website and then meet with us kind of one-on-one. So that way they get a better opportunity of, I want to know what these students are interested in, because marine science is such a broad degree, such a broad discipline, that we want to make sure that we know what kind of aspect they want to be in, and that way we can point them in the right directions. And we have a ton of different collaborations, everything with different departments, like we have a aquaponics greenhouse with horticulture, but offshore, we have connections. We're starting to run some courses at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We collaborate with a lot of other agencies, offices, organizations off campus. So just to give you an idea of some of the course offerings we had, I mentioned before, we're a relatively large marine science program, even though it's only a 2-year college. So just to show you the kind of breadth and diversity of course offerings we have here in the Marine Science Department at OCC. A lot of places will have oceanography and oceanography lab, and marine bio lab, but we also have coastal oceanography and lab. This new 119 course is going to be a collaborative experience, a collaborative course with the Aquarium of the Pacific that's actually going to be held on site at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We have a number of courses in marine aquarium science and husbandry and life support operation, and our students manage and run our aquarium, public aquarium. We have a number of other different courses in intertidal ecology, gray whale, all types of marine mammal related courses, as well as things like marine policy and conservation and research and monitoring. So there's a very broad course offerings for a 2-year college. With our Marine Science AS degree. So this is really attractive for a number of different students, both for those that they know they want to major in marine science. This is a great first step, because often you might go to a university directly where your first couple of years, you're one of hundreds, if not even more sometimes, in the classroom. Whereas our classes are substantially smaller, and we really try and afford the opportunity to get a lot of hands-on experience. So it's a great initial step for students looking to pursue a higher degree in marine science. But also our AS degree works great for students that want to emphasize marine science, but maybe get a bachelor's degree in some other field. And this could be very, very diverse. It could be from economics, law, it could be engineering, it could be communications, computer science, history, really anything, but you're really interested in the ocean. Well, this is a great degree of getting, or a great way of getting a formal emphasis in ocean sciences without having to take a lot of the prerequisites, chemistry, physics, and calculus, that really disincentivize a lot of people who are interested in this field from going and getting the full bachelor's degree at a four-year university. Our other option for an AS degree is our Applied Ocean Science and Technology. Now, this is a new thing that we are very excited about. It is a collaborative degree between the Marine Science Department and the Professional Mariners Program. And it's really meant for students who know they want to work in marine science. And one of the things that we have found is that a lot of times right getting out from the bachelor's, students are deficient in a lot of the practical skills, a lot of the certifications that are necessary in order to get jobs. So the whole goal of this is to basically provide a lot of hands-on experience. You get a lot of certifications. That's really going to work well to kind of complement the theoretical background that you get with the rest of your bachelor's degree. It really can work to develop and strengthen hard skill sets so you're more competitive in the job market after completing that bachelor's degree. Now, I don't want to talk about it only from the Marine Science Department side, because our collaboration in that is the Professional Mariners Program, and students from both sides get to work together. And that way, it really strengthens the background of students that are in the Professional Mariners Program in the marine science disciplines and vice versa. So here's where I want to pass it over to Karen Prelow, who is the head of our Professional Mariners Program, and she can take over and talk about not only this degree, this collaborative degree with marine sciences, but then get into the details of what we offer in our Professional Mariners Program. So Karen?
Thank you and welcome all. This is an exciting degree for all the reasons that Rob said. We take their hands-on courses and our hands-on courses and put them together for something that's a really unique experience. And with this, not only can you transfer to a four-year college and immediately begin using your skills, you can also go out into the field and start working, or you can start working in other areas in the boating world as well. The four classes we have that are part of this are boat handling and seamanship class, where students actually get on small boats and then gradually larger and larger boats, and understand not only how to drive them, but how to navigate them, how to handle lines, and do things like that. We have a lab that we do with the marine science students, excuse me, where we'll do plankton trawls and things like that. We have a safety class. It's a basic safety training course. And the U.S. Coast Guard and the international marine community recognizes this particular course, and successful students leave with 4 certificates recognized in the field that they can then get a job on a boat. So those four certificates are in personal survival training, which includes man overboard, getting in a life raft, immersion suit training, and things like that. Firefighting, where we go take our students to a firefighting facility and they learn how to fight live fires. Medical training, because of course, no one's going to come out and help you immediately if you're on the ocean. And the last one is personal safety and social responsibilities. And that particular certificate has to do with living aboard in a tight environment and also handling the marine pollution and other things like that. We have coastal navigation, which is part of this degree. We also have maritime environment. And the maritime environment is a weather, tides, and currents class, because of course, all those things tie in to everything we do on the water. Next slide, please. So what will you learn? And we'll run this. This video is going to just give you a quick overview, a few seconds of each of the programs, each of the separate classes. So that's a quick clip, but encompasses so much of what we do. Maritime Industries is where we look at all the various aspects of the industries that you can go into. So whether it's from a marine science side or professional mariner side, whether it's shore side or seaside, there are lots and lots and lots of options. And the marine industry in particular is really asking for people to join them as career. We have boat handling and seamanship, which I talked about a little earlier, Maritime Environment, which we also have a field trip where we go out and learn effectively how tides and currents work. We have a great back bay, upper back bay here, which is a wonderful place for learning these sorts of things on the water. We have basic safety, which is the 4 certificates that I covered, as well as I'll add for anyone that happens to sail. And if you travel, if you're an offshore ocean sailor, many races require a world sailing certificate. And that basic safety training course includes the World Sailing Certificate. For offshore racing, 30% to 50% of some crews must have this certificate. So we offer that. Coastal navigation, and we have a certificate that is optional there with a US sailing coastal navigation. We have yacht keeping and engine maintenance. And then there are some more classes that we've added that I'll talk about in a second. So those are the core classes to get a certificate, and a certificate takes 1 year. We are in the process of making shorter certificates so that a student could actually get a certificate from Orange Coast College. These are not Coast Guard certificates, but an Orange Coast College certificate in 1 year, in 1 semester. Before you change slides, Rob, I want to come back to one thing, and that's our boat handling and seamanship class. The Coast Guard also recognizes that class in the sense that a student successfully completing that class will get 60 days of sea time. And if you know anything about running boats, sea time is a big deal. So with that, you get earned 60 days towards either an able-bodied seafarer or an engineer's license or a master's license. All right, next slide. So what does a professional mariner do? Well, they can do a lot of things. You might think of whale watching or fishing, and it could be large fishing, commercial fishing, sport fishing, things of that nature. And of course, the aquarium sciences are invaluable there because you need to keep your bait fresh and all those sorts of things. You need to know where the fish will be, how to catch them, how to find them. Catch and release is done quite often. Tagging is done. You can go into tours, tourist snorkel trips, swimming with the whale sharks and things like that. You can work for Fish and Wildlife. You could be a NOAA observer. You could work on a research vessel. You saw a lot of pictures of boats in the marine science program with students doing research and other things. Well, someone has to run those boats. And if you have the understanding from both sides of the equation, you're really in great shape. The internships, we have lots and lots of internships and class experience. I have probably, I would say 2 calls a week from people who are looking for interns. And our students have a great reputation, so that opens the door for more interns. We have interns that are on everything from the Catalina Flyer to fishing boats and other things. We also have state-of-the-art navigation equipment, which is used on our vessels. And in fact, if you look at the picture on the left, that is our 92-foot vessel, which we will eventually replace with a different type of vessel, but she's a wonderful yacht, and she has 3 sets of navigation and radar equipment that the students can use, and we do use that vessel underway. The picture on the far right is kind of exciting. That actually is our students. We anchor the big boat and we do these safety drills, and this particular safety drill is the culmination of 16 weeks of effort. They get into their survival suits, they abandon ship into a life raft that has been deployed, and they here are setting off the flares to be rescued. One of the most exciting things for them to do is the drill where the life raft is actually upside down and they must right it from the water. So that's, to say the least, hands on, feet on, head on. All right, next slide, please. So these are state-of-the-art simulators. This has been an incredibly exciting year for us. This year, we moved into a brand new facility. The Professional Mariner program has never had its own home, and now we do. And we get people from the outside, commercial individuals looking to expand and extend or renew their licenses and education, to our students, to just people in the community. On the left-hand side, you see what is called a full bridge simulator. So this is a full mission bridge simulator. And it has the bridge as if you're on a large ship or a smaller ship. We can change the type of ship, and you will run exercises in this. We have a new class which is called RFPNW, which is ratings forming part of a navigational watch. That is the designation the Coast Guard gives it. But what it teaches is how to be part of a bridge team. So students understand communication skills, how to drive the boat, how to understand what the chart plotters and the radars are doing and things like that. We also have a class, we call it the Nav Sim room. So we have a room full of navigation simulators. And the person on the right is working on one. And the middle screen that she's looking at, you can't see, she has a screen to her left as well. She is looking out the front window of a vessel. Her hands are on the controls of that vessel, and she can manipulate that vessel through an area and look for navigation, watch for radar targets and things of that nature. So to her left would be a radar screen, and she would be looking at that radar information. And then to the right is a chart plotter that she will work on as well. So to say the least, we're very excited to have our own facility with beautiful classrooms and these wonderful simulators and other things that we can use. Next slide, please. I see I have a question in the chat, and I'll be very happy to get to that in just one moment. We do have hands-on learning. So you see here, those are the little boats that they start with. And then over to the right, this was a boat, or is a boat, that we will charter at times and take students on an overnight so they understand what it's like to live aboard a boat. We also take our bigger boats out and work with them on different duties. So someone was asking, and I'm happy to answer, what are some of a professional mariner's duty? So a professional mariner would be in charge of the working of the boat and possibly helping, most probably helping, with the equipment if they're on a research vessel or something like that. So a professional mariner will be anything from the deckhand to handling lines, being in charge of safety. If there's an emergency on board, they're definitely part of the emergency response team. They help with radar, watch keeping, chart plotting, keeping the vessel clean, engine maintenance, checking fuels, filters, belts, things like that. So they're kind of a jack of all trades. And many large boats will also have a smaller vessel that they have as a tender. And our students leave with a California boat handling certificate as well, which frankly you can get online, but our students get it with 16 weeks of boat handling experience. So it really means a lot. All right, I think that answered your question. And if there's more, I'm happy to answer them too. Next slide, I think we're close to the end, and it's on to Mary. Mary, take it away.
Thanks, Karen. Hello, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Mary Blasius, and I'm one of the Marine Science and Aquarium Science faculty at OCC. I want to talk a little bit different about our Aquarium Science program. This is where you can take classes specifically in marine husbandry, water quality, life support of the organisms that you would find in aquarium, from maybe your own personal tank at home, but to large exhibits at like the Aquarium of the Pacific or at zoos, if you're taking care of like sea lions or polar bears and such. And a lot of times, even if you have your 4-year degree or a 2-year associate science degree in marine science, marine biology, you go to look for a job. And a lot of times, especially in the aquarium industry, they're going to say, oh, we want aquarium experience. You have experience working in the aquarium life support for a year, 2 years, 3 years, handling animals, doing water quality, water changes. And it's kind of that, well, if I need experience to get the job, how do I get that experience if I can't get the job without the experience? And that's what this program provides with you. You will take some classes, and they usually have about anywhere from an hour, maybe 2-3 hours of lecture time a week. It varies a little bit about between the classes, but you're then going to work directly in the aquarium. As mentioned, we have a public aquarium with 5, 6, 7,000 gallons. We have freshwater systems. We have tropical systems with live corals, our local temperate species. So a large range that you'll get to help care for those animals and learn the techniques of how to do a water change, how to make seawater, how to feed the animals. And that's more than just kind of dumping some flakes in there, but learning how to target feed versus scatter feed and so forth. And so we have a certificate that you can earn taking our classes. It's a class that has 11.5 units. If Rob, you don't mind going to the next slide, I can show you the classes that you would take with this program. So you would start off with our Marine Aquarium Science, and this is an introductory science class. You would then follow this with our specifically learning about the husbandry of aquatic organisms. So that's more of the feeding, learning how to care for the animals, health, disease, followed by our life support operation and maintenance. And this is more of the tools and techniques we use to kind of keep the fish alive. So there's pumps and filtration, as well as some water quality as well. We also have you take 2 semesters of our practical experience in aquarium science and management. And that's where you as a student get to be an aquarium manager. So you're making decisions about what's happening in our aquarium. You're also mentoring the newer students that are coming into that first semester class. And so in addition with taking our marine biology lecture and lab course, you would be able to complete this program and earn the certificate in a year. If you started the Marine Aquarium Science 120 class in the summer, you could then finish up that program within a year. Additionally, a part of this program, you can earn a nationally recognized certificate in the industry. Here on the side, you see it says Aquatic Animal Life Support Operators. This is a national society of people in the industry who work for aquariums and zoos who support all of the equipment and the techniques for keeping animals alive. And so a lot of times you may even see that aquariums or zoos may require this certificate. Normally it's like $400 to just go to take this certificate. At the end of our aquarium life support and operation maintenance class, the Marine Science 140, you get to take that exam for free and earn that certificate. So that's a great opportunity. Rob, you want to go to our next slide? So to kind of move forward, we have also a certificate in marine mammal field studies. This class has a few courses that you will take at Orange Coast College, our marine mammal science class and the field studies. The Marine Mammal Field Studies course, actually, you go out into the field. This past January, we went up to Monterey Bay Aquarium and we worked with the sea otter research team there, learning how to monitor foraging behaviors, as well as how they track them. And so we worked with that team for a day. But you also get to take classes at a local rehabilitation and rescue center, the Pacific Marine Mammal Center. They're located in Laguna Beach, about 15 minutes from our campus, and you will take campus directly at that facility, learning the specific techniques and knowledge that you need to care for our local seal and sea lion populations that strand along our coastlines. Rob, you want to move on to the next slide? Additionally, we have one more certificate that we want to mention is our Marine Research and Monitoring Program. This is going to kind of, again, have a little overlap with our Professional Mariners program, where you would take a boat handling and seamanship school class through that program. But you would also take classes where you're going to learn the techniques of the scientific equipment that you use out in the field, a lot of times on those boats. And then also classes that once you collect that data, how do you analyze it? How do you work it up? So like how we have our digital mapping or intro into GIS. Next slide, Rob. So I just want to finish up with our last program, our environmental science and ecology department. You can earn a great classes in more of kind of a wide range of environmental science classes. A lot of these are field courses where, again, you're going to get to go out into the field and learn the specific techniques for sampling data in the field. One of the classes I'll highlight is our island ecology class. And this class actually goes to Santa Cruz Island, one of our Northern Channel Islands, where you'll stay at the UC Santa Barbara Research Station and get to learn about the local ecology of that environment. So it's a great set of classes here as well. Most of these are going to be really field intensive, out in the field, overnight trips. Next slide.
Okay, so just to kind of wrap up, I'm sure lots of you have questions and we'll take as many of them as we can with the time that we still have allotted. I'm not sure how much is left, but if you want to learn more, I encourage you guys to just go to our website. We have a huge amount of information on there and all of our contact info so that we could actually set up Zoom meetings or anything else to answer questions that you have if we don't get to answer them today. Rather than putting just a big long web link on there, the easiest thing to do is just to search Orange Coast College Marine Science Department or the OCC Professional Mariner Program. And in both of those cases, our websites have been newly updated. They give you a lot of the information about the programs, about opportunities to get involved, whether it be through internships or what kinds of fields are available to people who do marine science or the Professional Mariners Program, as well as contact information for all of us so that we can set up opportunities to talk. Now, I know Karen Prelo, you wanted to jump back in real fast. Do you want to go ahead and do that before we open it up officially for questions?
I just wanted to add that we had very recently, literally within the last 2 weeks, a generous donor who has put forth scholarships specifically for the Professional Mariner Program. So we're very excited about that. And the other thing is Cal Maritime now has a marine science department and program degree. And that seems to have gone from our college to Cal Maritime, have done extraordinarily well. So I just wanted to add those things. Back to you, Rob.
Perfect. Now, just looking at the chat, I see one of the questions is looking at dual credit, so dual enrollment credit. I don't want to answer, I'm not exactly sure how it works for homeschool, but we do have dual enrollment programs. In fact, we are collaborating with Edison High School to offer some of our aquarium science classes there. We do other things that are open to high school students, like, for example, the 119 community education that's held at the Aquarium of the Pacific, that's available to high school students, as well as our aquarium science classes. We're making the first level, try to make it in the afternoon to where students in high school can actually go to that one. It is very hands-on, so it's not necessarily, it's not Zoom based, but it's hands-on. In terms of other opportunities, we always have some classes that are offered live online, so using Zoom, and some fully online options. But if you have more specific questions, like I said, please contact us, and I'd be glad to set up a meeting and we can make sure to talk about everything that you guys need. Can OCC students work in the aquarium? If so, what it is like? Awesome. That's what it's like. We have a lot of students working in the OCC Aquarium, and how it works is your first semester, just in our 120 class, you start feeding the sharks and taking care of all the different fish and invertebrates and corals literally from kind of day 2. We do a first orientation. Safety is always first. We make sure that we do have everything checked off so that we're working in a safe environment. You guys know the proper procedures, but then you jump straight into it. Often after that class, students are able to jump up to the 200 level and become student aquarium managers, where they get to, as part of the class, actually help to manage the facility and make decisions about what we keep and how we keep it. And then from those students that show particular enthusiasm and dedication, we actually hire 5 of them on at a time as our aquarium staff, what we call it. And those are district part-time employees where you actually get paid to work and help run the OCC Public Aquarium. That involves not only coursework and student experience, but public tours and events. We have something coming up with our planetarium next weekend where we're going to have the aquarium open. Sometimes we set up touch tanks and we do lots of other events. And so there are lots of opportunities, as well as like work study, to actually get paid and work in the OCC Aquarium. What was the name of the afternoon program you just mentioned? So that is the Marine Aquarium Science. It's Marine Science 120, and we generally run 2 sections of that a week. And often our Tuesday one in the fall, for example, will be later in the afternoon. So if existing high school students that still haven't graduated want to enroll and get hands-on experience taking care of the organisms and working in the OCC Aquarium, they can do that after their normal day at high school and then come to OCC. Do OCC students get to go off-campus programs or experiences? If so, what are some of the opportunities? And I don't want to answer all the questions. Mary, you want to jump in and take this one, or Karen Prelo?
Yeah, I can. And I want to say that we also are offering our Marine Science 120 this summer, and that class will start at the end of June 27th, and that will be on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. with an additional couple hours that you would on your own schedule come in to help in the work in the aquarium and feed our fish and invertebrates and whatnot. So the next question was, do OCC students get to go on off-campus programs or experience? If so, what are some of the opportunities? For sure, we have a lot of our classes that have off-campus programs. Almost all of our labs, you'll have some field trip that will take you out on a research vessel and collect animals. We have overnight trips. As mentioned, one of our classes right now is down in Baja, and they're checking out the breeding grounds of the gray whales. I teach a marine mammal field studies course, which we did an overnight trip to Monterey Bay, and I'll be running that class again this summer, where we'll probably go up to Monterey. Just in this upcoming semester, I'm going to be teaching a gray whale ecology class where we will be doing a whale watch just here offshore, as well as going up and working with some researchers who do whale counts and so forth. So almost all of our classes have some kind of field trip experience. And most of the time I'm teaching marine biology lab right now. I think I have 6 or 7 field trips. Like, for example, we're going to the tide pools next week.
Fantastic. Are there any other questions? Last question. In the video, it showed student housing. What is campus life like? Does OC students have the majority of students live on campus? So that's a good question. I think our student housing opened up a couple of years ago, and I actually have yet to go on that since I haven't been, we just started back full-time on campus this semester after COVID. What is it like? And in terms of the numbers, I don't know. It's definitely not the majority of students that live on campus, because the student housing is quite big. It's large, but I believe our campus has somewhere on the order of about 17 or 18,000 students right now. So it's definitely not all of them. Many of them live locally, but a lot of the ones that come for our very unique programs, specifically like Marine Aquarium Science, as well as the Professional Mariner program, if they are coming from out of town, that provides an opportunity to live on campus in a place where otherwise it's pretty hard to find affordable housing. Are there any scholarships for marine and aquarium sciences that OCC offers? Absolutely. So in addition to things like the Promise program and the OCC CARES program, we have a really robust foundation that offers lots of scholarships and opportunities. And then we specifically, even within our department and our division, offer scholarships to like the gray whale ecology class, for volunteer student aquarium managers, and for a number of other things. Karen Prela, would you like to speak to that specifically from the professional mariner side?
Sure, we have always had some scholarships, but recently we were given a donation that enables us to endow scholarships of about $25,000 for each year. And we don't have at this point in time any particular stipulations on them. They can be used for tuition, they can be used for books, housing, going as well for further education in the maritime world. So that's a really exciting donation, and it shows how much support the community gives us. The building that we have, which is on the bay, it is attached to another. We have a boathouse, which is specifically on the bay, a bridge that crosses Coast Highway, and the professional mariners building is on the other side of that bridge. It's a short footbridge across the highway. A lot of that was built with funds and support from the community. So similar to marine science, professional mariners, it's a boating community that we have here. It's the people in this area are big on the ocean and environment and want to see good things happen.
Fantastic. I have another one that said, would I be able to complete a marine science associate degree in 2 years, or does it take longer? We specifically design all of our degrees and certificate programs to take 2 years or less. Most of the degree programs do take 2 years, and then many of the certificate programs, like Mary had said, can be completed in a single year, although it really depends on what it is that what your goals are. Some people want to spread those out and take, degrees and multiple certificates, because our whole goal here is making sure that you guys have lots of opportunities, lots of hands-on field experience, as well as being able to make contacts, and are very knowledgeable about a lot of applied skills and certifications to build up that resume. So many of our students come in thinking, oh, well, I just want to get the certificate and then leave after a year. And they actually end up staying for a little while because they understand that they can build up so much experience that really helps to make their resume more robust when they actually do finish off later. But they are all designed in order to be finished within a year or 2 years.
Awesome. I think that's all the questions we have for you guys. So thank you so much to Orange Coast College and to all of our presenters. And thank you so much to all of our attendees. We hope that you guys have a great rest of your day and wish you all the best of luck for your next steps in your journeys and wherever your paths take you.
Thank you again for setting this up. We really appreciate it. And I look forward to hopefully hearing from many of you guys. Please contact us at OCC.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.